Hi everyone, the name is Eric Dorn. In today's video we're opening Pandora's box and learning to reflect and introspect and to reach a higher existential awareness by simply learning to listen to a higher frequency of our own thoughts and our own perceptions. The truth is, while we have the capacity to use our 5 senses to orient the world, we also have the capacity to use 5 intuitive senses to orient the intuitive world, right? And that means we can imagine how the world might look. We can visualize objects inside our head. We can rotate images, we can hear sounds, music inside ourselves, we can smell inside ourselves, we can think, and we can navigate this world that to some extent it can and has the potential to be just as intense, vivid and real as this outer world that we can imagine around us, right? Perhaps you're tuning into this video because lately you felt like you've lost touch with this inner voice. Perhaps the everyday pressures of real life have started to weigh on you. Things that you have to do, you have to take out the trash, you have to clean your room, you have to go to work, you have to meet up with your friends, and you have to do all these things, right? And this constant feeling keeps you in this present moment of being and doing and constantly being and doing, and so you can feel as if you've stopped listening to yourself. And so the question is, how do you learn how to start listening to yourself? And how do you start tuning into this frequency? And to do that, what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes and to imagine that you're holding a box. Imagine that you're holding Pandora's box, and that inside this box is the answer to every question that you have about the world. Every single mystery can be found if you open this box, and the answer to every single question, to every single thought, to every single worry and concern you have is in there, right? So imagine that it's in there, and now think about what could be in there. What kind of answers might you find in there if you open it? What kind of things that you get to know? You might get to know, for example, whether you should stay in your relationship or not, whether you should stay at your job or not, whether you should move to a different country or to a different city. Or now imagine that you open the box and find that nothing is in there. Where are all these questions that were supposed to be in there? Where were all the answers? Where were all the insights? Where were all the truths that I was supposed to find when I opened this box, right? The question is, or rather the answer is, they are there, but you're not paying attention, right? So what you're doing is you're looking at the outer world. You're looking at everyday things. You're looking at this thing inside the box, but you're not looking at the things that are inside the box, right? And how do you look at the things that are outside the box? Well, there are some simple things that you can do to improve and increase your introverted intuition and your capacity to reason about and experience and understand these kind of questions, right? And the first thing you want to do is sensory deprivation. Sensory deprivation strategies are super crucial, super important in order to help you achieve these kind of higher intuitive states, right? So what you need to do is turn off all the lights, turn off all the noise, turn off your phone, turn off all those things that you're being distracted by, all those things that are pulling for your attention, demanding your action, demanding you listen, right? Because by demanding your attention, they're also depriving you of it, right? Because they're depriving you of the capacity to use your own intuition to realize and discover these secret mysteries of the world. There's a reason why your best ideas happen when you're in the shower, or when you're in this space where there is really nothing really to take or suck out your attention or energy, because your desire to figure things out and your desire to stay present and conscious and to think and to understand things is absolutely the thing that is keeping you from understanding and seeing all these things, right? Because according to philosopher Plato, we live between two worlds. You could say that we live in this present world with all these real things, right? But we also live in this intuitive world, and these worlds exist in harmony with one another, and we don't always realize that this intuitive world even is there, but it is there, right? Socrates proved it kind of by, for example, bringing up a slave to sit with him and the other philosophers, and by asking this slave different questions about life, about physics, about mathematics, about biology. And what he found was that even a person with no formal education, with no practical experience of life, can still formulate accurate explanations about how the universe works and about different and difficult topics around matters of life and death and why we're here and all these things, right? So all those things are inside every single person. Every single person has this wisdom inside of them. But to some extent, we need to create a state, foster an environment which draws these truths out of us. Now, a lot of people walk around with introverted intuition just at the tip of their tongues, right? And this can happen if you have this feeling like there's something you're about to realize, something on your mind, something that you are starting to learn how to vocalize. You can not put your finger on quite what it is yet, but you can feel it's there. You can feel like there's something inside of you, some kind of idea or some kind of insight that is about to happen. And you know it's going to happen, but you don't know what it is yet. And you feel it's on your tip of your tongue, right? So what can you do if that happens? Well, the first thing you can do if you're starting to feel this way is you can close your eyes, take a deep breath, breathe out, and clear your mind. And now sit with yourself and ask yourself questions, simple yes and no questions. How am I feeling right now? Am I feeling happy or sad? What am I thinking about right now? Am I thinking about something related to work or related to my private life? Am I thinking about something related to my relationships in my private life or something related to myself? Am I thinking about some kind of goal or creative project? Or am I thinking about some kind of question or mystery or some kind of issue? And if it's some kind of issue or mystery, what kind of a mystery is it? Is it a mystery related to, for example, life and death, or is it something related to, for example, creativity? Ask yourself all these questions and start getting in the practice of interviewing yourself. Now, to make this exercise even easier, take out a pen and paper and start just writing. Write down everything that comes up. Remember that this is a half-cooked insight, right? So it's not finished yet. It's still cooking, it's still boiling inside your head, right? And the pasta, it's getting softer, but it's not yet quite al dente, right? So you gotta keep this process running. So you keep this pot running and think about what you can do to stir the pot and to simplify and help out the process, right? So what can I do to increase the heat? What can I do to make sure that it gets the right flavor and texture? And what can I do to stir it the right way in order to create a conducive environment to feed these thoughts and to inspire this? Because these insights don't just happen on their own, as commonly believed. We often believe that these insights come out of nowhere. But they don't. These are insights, they don't come out of nowhere. Nothing comes out of nowhere. They happen because there was some kind of a trigger word, some kind of creative association, some kind of spiral, some kind of unexpected thing that happened that sent your mind running, that somehow just unclogged the river and just made it flow. And so the question is, what was that thing? What was that strange, absurd thing that happened recently that triggered your mind? Was it something somebody said, or something unexpected that happened, or some kind of unfamiliar thing that happened to you, right? And what you're going to find if you start thinking like this is you're going to realize that introverted intuition is constantly fueled by extroverted intuition, and every single random thing that happens in your life triggers and helps unclog this river and helps this flow happen and helps your mind reach the right keywords or the right clues or the right language or the right phrase or the right term in order to phrase its own insight and to give you this like understanding of something that you didn't have before, right? And so if you're trying to create space for yourself to have these insights, what you need to do is create an environment of absurdity around you, which means create a strange and unexpected and unfamiliar environment around yourself. Like, find things and ways to facilitate this process by putting unexpected things all around you, like things that you didn't hear before, things you didn't know before, and fill your life with people that also have this capacity to stimulate you by doing strange, unexpected things that you were not prepared for. Because these things are the trigger to introverted intuition, and this is how you get insight running throughout your life constantly in a non-stop fashion, because you are and you have all the answers inside of you, and all you need to do is learn how to tune into that frequency and learn how to keep that fire going. And how do you keep that fire going? Well, by adding a dose of constant randomness, new patterns, unexpected situations, and things that cause you to go, why and how and what? Because these kind of absurd experiences, they stimulate your mind to go and ask yourself new questions, and it gets you out of this rut of routine, this rut of constant sameness over and over again. And now what I want you to do is, I want you to go back to Pandora's box and look inside again, because the truth is, I think you're going to find something there. There is something there. There's a note. There is a piece of paper in there. And now you're picking up that note and you start reading it, and there's this word there. What is this word? There's this one word, just this simple, specific word, and it's related to something that you're thinking about right now. So it's a specific answer to a specific question that you're having right now. So the question is, what is that word? Take a second to think about what that word is and start writing about it. And start writing about what that word means and why you had that word and why you saw that word. That's my tip for how to awaken your introverted intuition. The truth is, anyone can do it, and everyone can benefit from doing it. Thank you so much for watching, and see you all in the next video.